What kind of Africa do we want for our children? Do we want cities choked with pollution or clean air for our families to breathe? Do we want power cuts and unreliable electricity or dependable, clean energy for everyone? Do we want to see our natural heritage disappear or preserve the nature we love? Do we want food insecurity and poor nutrition or a future where everyone can eat like royalty? Do we want to rely on imported goods or proudly wear the clothes we've made from our own resources? What kind of Africa do we want? An Africa where all of our dreams can come true.
My guy, live easy. Here's how. Come over, my neighbor. We're living easy. We're living the dream. Get right. Send packages, order food, sell and buy, all in one app.
And welcome to this week's Focus On, where we delve into matters energy, logistics, and environmental sustainability. The first conversation is with Anish Jain, the CEO of Equitaine, as we explore how Equitaine is transforming the energy landscape in Africa with cutting-edge infrastructure and innovative green technologies.
As part of a Equitaine group, we are a diversified conglomerate, which is operating across 15 countries in Africa, mainly sub-Saharan Africa, across West Africa, East Africa, and Central Africa. And as an organization, we are focused on developing large-scale infrastructure projects, providing climate solutions to the countries, and doing large-scale manufacturing across textile, pharma, ceramics, and agricultural products. That's what we do.
And when we mention manufacturing and climate, there are two things that are intertwined here. And speaking of climate change, what is it that you're doing on that front? And specifically, in terms of when it comes to manufacturing, how are you ensuring that the products you're bringing to the market are climate friendly?
Very good. So on the climate solution side, we offer two primary solutions in various countries. The first one is our electric mobility company called Spiro, where we have a vision to transform public utility and public mobility solutions to electric vehicles. We have started offering our two-wheeler electric vehicles, and by far we have become the largest EV player in Africa by offering our motorcycles. Also, we focus on renewable sources of power, primarily solar. So we have a vision to become one of the large independent power producers in renewable energy in Africa by 2030. So we offer solar power solutions and see that how we can bridge the deficit of electricity in various countries. So that's what we do on the climate solution side. On the manufacturing side, we have footprints across manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, textiles, ceramics, and agri products. We strive to do these manufacturing in such a way that it reduces the carbon footprint. And our strategy is either import substitution in Africa or export promotion from Africa. So if you see the products which are locally produced and you are reducing the importation of products into Africa, that automatically reduces the carbon footprint of transportation and logistics of these products into Africa. We have done a study and we have found that all the products that we locally manufacture, which do the import substitution, on an annual basis, we save more than 150,000 metric tons of carbon because of less importation. So those are the solutions which not only generate high quality jobs in Africa, but at the same time make African countries more self-sufficient and reliant in having their locally produced products.
Correct. And still on the manufacturing front, you're operating in different diverse markets within Africa. And I believe what you see in Cote d'Ivoire is not what you see in Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania, or when you go to the southern Africa of this continent. Therefore, how has it been like for you navigating within the different markets and the regulatory frameworks within the different markets within Africa?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. When we see the different regulatory environment in different countries, we feel that as a corporate citizen, we play an important role to work with the governments and curate the regulatory framework and policies and advise governments that how these industries have been successful in other parts of the world, maybe beyond Africa, looking at India, Southeast Asia, US, Europe, and we bring those best practices from a policy and governance perspective to advise governments that that is how other countries have done to become successful and how we can integrate those policies as part of their local framework to flourish the industry, to make this industry long lasting and generational for them. And that has been really interesting for us because we have found most of the African leaders, they have paid very keen attention in developing these industries locally because it brings long-term economic impact with them.
And from that conversation, we engaged the CEO and General Manager of Yango, a delivery services company operating in Cote d'Ivoire. From state-of-the-art technology to innovative solutions, Yango is redefining the businesses and consumers alike experience hassle-free, on-time deliveries across the continent.
Yango is a tech company which aggregates technologies from different parts of the world and distributes these technologies across different communities. So we do ride-hailing, we do deliveries, we do food deliveries, we do cloud, we do education. So there's a bunch of services that we offer. In Africa we started, and Yango is a very quintessentially African brand, so because we started on the continent 6 years ago in Cote d'Ivoire. And so the name Yango itself is a very African name, so it means let's go in Twi in Ghana, and that's the origin story of Yango. Since then, we've expanded to more than 15 countries on the continent. We are by far the largest ride-hailing business by footprint on the continent. We're very proud of that because we fundamentally believe that technologies like ride-hailing or any other technologies built for cities are needed across all the urban centers on the continent.
The issue of carbon emissions, they're intertwined here.
Yeah.
So therefore, how is Yango aligned with the environmental sustainability goals?
So that's a very good question. So when we talk about sustainability, I think there are several layers to it, right? So for you to start thinking in terms of decarbonizing the transport sector, till today we're still like, as a continent, we're still the least vehicleized part of the world, right? So if you take, for example, say, I don't know, London or any of the other, big cities in Europe, you've got roughly anywhere between 100 and 150,000 new vehicles coming into those markets every year. You take Nigeria, which is the most populous country on the continent, and you have about 10,000 new vehicles coming there. So at the very, very base level, we're the least vehicleized. So we're already emitting like the list. Now, when you add on top of that the layer of ride-hailing, every ride-hailing vehicle that you put on the road takes off 20 private vehicles from the road. That's you decarbonizing the transport sector. So this is 20 people who are not going on the road with their private cars. And on top of that, I mean, there are a lot of things that we've done on our level, which is basically helping our partner companies, the transport companies, to be able to acquire electric vehicles. So if you go to Angola today, over 2,000 vehicles in Angola that are on our platform are running on EVs, right? So we're trying to do similar things in other markets. But at the base level, we have to understand that there is an infrastructural deficit that companies like ours cannot take on. So we're an asset-light company, we're a software company, we're not building EV plants, we're not building EV charging stations, and so on. And this is where it is important that other players on the entire value chain of the business comes in, including the manufacturers, the OEMs, the financing partners, to be able to create that infrastructure on top of which we can then apply what we are applying, which is what we can do, ensure that there's utilization of those vehicles, ensure that there's utilization for the drivers who are running those vehicles. And by having higher utilization, we help to reduce carbon emissions.
So AI is part of our, daily activities, part of all of our activities on a daily basis. So, for example, for delivery, and this is just one example that comes on top of my mind, is the fact that we can optimize the routes of the couriers, for example, and in this way improve the productivity of the couriers and also improve the lives and the service for our users. And this is just part of what AI is has been able to bring to us as Yango as a company. But overall, what I can say is that AI and at Yango is helping us bring innovation, as I was mentioning earlier, to markets where services like delivery, for example, or ride-hailing that we have been doing for a while were not present. So in Côte d'Ivoire, this is something that I'm really proud of. We're able to first launch delivery through motorbikes. So couriers are able to take parcels from users from one point A to one point B. And if the parcel is a little bit larger, we also provide deliveries by car. So, and then if you want to go beyond that and you have a very big parcel, then you have to use cargo, which is a van, semi-truck, tricycle, even large truck. That is something new. It's a new service that we are, expanding on the market, and it shows a lot of promise. And this is a tribute to the added value that Yango is providing to all the markets that we are in.
Yeah. And among some of the new services that you've added is transportation of cargo. So could you elaborate to us more on that?
Yes. So cargo, I'm really, again, very proud of this. So before, in Côte d'Ivoire, for example, in other markets as well, if you wanted to carry, let's say, a sofa from one point A to one point B, you would have to call someone offline and try to, agree on a date when the person would come and show up. Also, bargain the prices and, agree on all different type of stuff before you're able to, actually, send your parcel. Now with cargo, if you have this sofa, for example, just at a click of a button, you're able to have a van, depending on the size that you choose, come pick up the parcels and, get it to the point that you're trying to send it to. So, and this is, as I said, wasn't present on the market, and again, very proud of it, and it shows a lot of potential. And through this, we've been able to impact a lot of users. I would say thousands of users, even thousands of couriers as well, and both users and even SMB, small and medium-sized businesses, are able to, help us contribute positively to the, Ivorian market and all the other African countries as well.
Indeed, in a world where the movement of goods is crucial and technological shift over the years, innovative solutions are emerging to make logistics more eco-friendly through cutting-edge technologies and sustainable practices in Africa. Until next time, goodbye for now.
What kind of Africa do we want for our children? Do we want cities choked with pollution or clean air for our families to breathe? Do we want power cuts and unreliable electricity or dependable, clean energy for everyone? Do we want to see our natural heritage disappear or preserve the nature we love? Do we want food insecurity and poor nutrition or a future where everyone can eat like royalty? Do we want to rely on imported goods or proudly wear the clothes we've made from our own resources? What kind of Africa do we want? An Africa where all of our dreams can come true.
My guy, live easy. Here's how. Come over, my neighbor. We're living easy. We're living the dream. Get right. Send packages, order food, sell and buy, all in one app.